all 3D views? Well, we very, very rarely ever print 3D views or views. We always make the views and we make the 3D views and we put them on sheets and then we take those sheets and then we print it out.
Can you do that last step again?
Yes. So if you start out at export range, you come down to selected views and sheets, and then you'll click the pencil. And before that, we went up to the PDF print button at the very top. So we don't even need to look at the views and 3D views. We just want to view the sheets. So to make things easier, come here where it says display filter and uncheck 2D and 3D views.
Wait, how do I get to select views and sheets? Oh, the pencil. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, of course. So once you've unchecked this down to where it's only seeing the sheets, you're going to see every sheet that's in your project. Unless you've been going back and cleaning things up, which I highly doubt that that's what you've been focusing your energy on. Every sheet, including sheets that you aren't going to use, are in this list. So what you need to do between now and 11:59 tonight, because that's when you have to do to print this, is you just figure out what sheets you need. If you have all your sheets made, go ahead and check them all. If you know what sheets you are doing, and they have been made, go ahead and check them. Because then you could save them as a print sheet set. So you don't have to come back and recheck these things over and over again. Again, you might not all have all of your sheets made, so you'll probably have to come back to this part anyway and check the sheets that you need. But once you're done picking what it is that you're printing, you'll go down to select. That's the first part. You're picking what it is you're printing. It's almost always going to be sheets. It is almost never going to be views. So we'll click select. The second thing is what it's named and where it's going. So file name, this is when you'll probably put in your last name, and then like final, Revit, what is this, class 2000 or something now? Ridiculous number. 4,220. This is a 2,000 level class. You can let your friends and family know that.
No
Holy
way.
shit.
Yeah, you think 300 level classes. So that's just when it's named. And then I'm going to be very picky to make sure that you have combined everything into a single file, which by default should be selected. All that means is when you print this, it's going to make one PDF with all of your pages instead of a bunch of PDFs each with one page.
Oh, that's nice.
And then where you're going to save it. This is just up to you. You can save it to your thumb drive, you can save it to your student drive, wherever you want to save it. Just know where it's being saved to so that you can submit it. So I'm just going to send mine to my desktop. Now, sheet size. This might be something that you'll want to verify. For the most part, it's always kept the sheet size that's in here, so you shouldn't have to find out what size you have. But if this ever gives you errors and it prints out and it doesn't print the right sheet size, which I've never seen it do yet, all you have to do is go to one of your sheets. Select the page, the actual page, and it will tell you the sheet size for you. But for the most part, the print dialog box has done a pretty good job at knowing what sheet size the sheet that it's printing is, so that's good. This is extremely important. Zoom to page is very bad, or fit to page is very bad. That is going to make the image that you are printing come onto the page in the most efficient, effective way to show it the biggest that it can. That's not good. That's rescaling. We don't want rescaling. We are drawing architectural drawings, so we will always want to change the zoom to 100%. Center is default selected, that's good. And then the only other things you really have to worry about is what type of drawing you want. So raster quality is going to be how big the drawing is. I would like to see you do higher presentation, but if you have a smaller computer or things are running a little slow or something, I definitely would accept lower medium. But that's the difference between these. The higher the presentation quality, the bigger the file will be. But honestly, I don't even think the file size between these two is that significant with PDFs. So Revit files can get massive. The PDFs, not so much. So I pretty much always just do higher presentation. And then whether or not you want it in color or black and white. Black and white would probably be fine for a majority of your sheets, but I do have you having to do a cover sheet with color. So go ahead and do color. So to review, oh, I can't tell if this today is broken. 1, what sheets you're doing. 2, what you're naming it and where it's going. 3, zoom 100%. 4, actually you don't have to do it. For this class, you don't have to do anything else. You can keep this at high, keep this at color, keep this at center, keep this at use print sheet size. The rest of this is fine, and then these options don't really matter. This one can help if you placed a lot of tags. Oh, now you're clicking. If you placed a lot of tags, but you didn't put all of those views onto a sheet, you might notice that your floor plan will have like a bunch of elevations and sections and stuff that are blank because they haven't been put on a sheet. If that's the case, you can click that button and it will make it to where if the view tag hasn't been put onto a sheet, then it will just not print it out. But if you don't do that, that's not a big deal. So any questions on printing? Does everybody have what they need in order to print now or before 12:15 or before 11:59 tonight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it okay if it's 11 by 17?
Yes, as long as it fits. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I have the biggest page sizes by default called out in the rubric as a worst case scenario, assuming that because if your floor plan is too big for a page, then it's not going to print right. If it's too small for a page, it's just cute. It's not the worst thing. So yeah, so that's why I say, yeah, so like residential, I recommend a D size, 24 by 36, or commercial E size, 30 by 42, because all of your residences should fit on a D size, and all your commercial projects should for sure fit on an E1 size. If you know your project fits on an 11 by 17, absolutely. Yeah, make it efficient. That's it. Oh, yes.
Do you just click export after like this?
Yep, so once you're done with everything, yeah, so the last step sometimes would be like, is it going to, where is it gonna save? My resolution doesn't let me see the bottom of it. But yeah, there should be an export button at the bottom. And I minimize it. I cannot. Oh, I can make this go away. Taskbar. Automatically hide taskbar. There it is.
Sweet.
So yeah, when you're done, export will be the last button you'll click. And it's not even going to ask where you want to save it because it already knows where you want to save it. And so it'll just be there. Don't be startled when the dialogue just goes away and you're just sitting there. It's where you told it to go.
I'm startled.
Startled, slightly startled. Okay, so go ahead and take a break.